Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today we're going to look back at AI. It used to be a huge dumping I-Man after a huge explosion in the positive direction, and now there seems to be signs of life.
Yeah, which typically we call like sideways, like crabathons, accumulation events, whatever you want to call it, right?
The heart beats I-Man.
Yeah. If you look at the market psychology chart, this is typically like, you know, the despair and depression era of like any like market cycle.
Yeah.
So I would classify the AI sector like going through that, and those are painful times usually if you're like a bag holder. You know, it's tough to like really maintain your conviction during those.
Yeah, it's crazy
troughs.
because the AI bull cycle was like 6 weeks long.
Yeah, it feels like it was just yesterday, right?
Yeah.
But it's been like 3 months since it basically locally topped out and it has like fully corrected. I would say.
I think we looked at it and it started in November and it topped like
December. Like literally New Year's was like the end.
And it's been bleeding out since then. Yeah,
bleeding pretty hard, and I'm sure. So that was like a main focal. It's one of the main focus. One of our main focuses this cycle, right, is to keep tabs on the development of AI in the context of crypto and Web3, because we know no matter what, like AI is on the horizon with crypto or not. Right?
Singularity's coming.
Yeah, there's just too much application for it. It's too damn useful. It's going to change too much. So it's coming, right? But in the context of how it intersects with crypto and blockchain, we need to understand that.
Yeah.
Right? So that we can be well positioned, as consumers, participants, developers, whatever, right?
Yeah, so let's get some tweets in here, and this guy chose, and he says, surprisingly, DeFAI and AI agents are making a comeback as top performers after being quiet for months. So he shows a chart here, narratives price performance, and look at that, DeFAI is 40%. I guess in the case of narratives here.
Yeah, with AI agents not far behind. What is that in between it? Is that
oracles? Oracles, yeah.
Well, it makes sense that oracles are hot, right? Because we're talking the killer ingredient to AI agent success is data, right? So you need intermediaries of data like facilitation, right? So oracles play a big role here.
Yeah, right? And look where data is, right next to NFT.
Yeah, NFTs might be making a slight comeback, I've been hearing. So maybe a NFT video next week. Who knows?
Game finance at the end there.
Oh, no, dude. Not our beautiful GameFi, man. It's such high prospects last cycle.
It was, yeah.
Maybe. I think AI will do a lot in that
for game
category
finance,
too.
I agree. Yeah. All right, so, and I guess additional coverage here is some quick thoughts on today's market bounce. So just another corroboration on the resurgence of AI. And we're going to talk about virtuals here. And yeah, so recommend reading these tweets, but let's kind of move on here. One of the darlings of AI was AI 16Z, and it peaked at $2.5 billion.
Yeah, I remember these videos. So we took notice of that. Basically, where the market cap lie today at 200 million, I'd say, is like when we started really heavily like locking in on this narrative, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're seeing enough signals, enough signs of market traction. You look into the GitHub repositories for Eliza and stuff. It was like outshining everything, not even just in crypto. It's like there's something significant brewing here. And then, of course, you see this explosion.
Yeah. So what's that heartbeat that we're talking about? So in the last month, it's been trending down, but if you go to the week, it's on its way up.
Yeah. So again, this is how markets work, right?
Yeah.
They go down and then they go up.
That's right.
But nonetheless, we're looking for substance beyond the squiggly lines, right?
Right.
Is there some substance?
Yeah. Is there life in development, really?
Yeah.
Right. So Jin, one of the contributors here of Eliza OS, rolled deep into the metaverse as well. We've known Jin for quite some years now.
Yeah.
Inspired by this post, I published a concise overview about the differences between V1 and V2 of Eliza OS. So let's kind of look into this. And so this is handy because it talks about what's wrong with V1, too many packages in the core. So this is all the packages. Can't route messages between clients more than one wallet equals colliding actions, hard-coded state composition, and limited planning and action chaining. And so now with V1 problems, they have V2 solutions. Unified message bus, separated wallets, unified inventory system, and the list goes on here, right? Solution V2 dynamic state composition, and it's all there. So we're seeing some activities, some development activities specifically.
Yeah, and from a developer point of view, right? Like these all seem like pretty sensible, like what do you call it? Scrum goals, right? Like
right, yeah.
These are things that like objectively need to be cleaned up if you're trying to attract a demographic of developer who's trying to build robust AI agents.
Yeah,
right?
so you could tell that there's many development sprints happening here.
Yeah. Of course. And so that's good that they're being transparent about this. So that way those prospective developers who are out there like peering into the Web3 space,
right.
like, what can I do? How can I make an impact? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, what? This looks pretty good. Like I could see how an AI agent that of course is communicating with these like very robust LLMs in connection to Eliza. Like now it's like highly capable and like has the contextual ability to not only, not collide with too much of the Web3 infra and like operate more seamlessly.
Yeah.
But also like execute multitask functionality, stuff like that, and that you could kind of like chain into the future so that they have that semblance of autonomous like
agentic
ability.
chaining. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important, right? So like we're getting there, lads.
Yeah.
In other words, so this is good signs.
Yeah. So another component of the AI ecosystem is virtuals. So like I said, right, in the last month, things have been trending down, and this last week they're on the way up.
All right, ups and downs, dude.
Yeah, we did it.
Squiggly lines, squiggle.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the total market cap. Man,
oh man,
yeah,
this one looks even way more aggressive.
I remember it flipped BitTensor there for like 30 seconds.
Maybe even longer than that. It might have been like a full week or something of like, damn, dude,
Yeah.
BitTensor lost.
Yeah.
Right? Lost the virtual somehow.
Right. And now 524 million market cap. All right.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, we started talking about virtuals at like a 50 million market cap or something. So what is that, 100x?
That's right.
Shit. So if you were paying attention, you bagged the 100x, but hopefully you didn't round trip the whole damn thing. But it's crypto. We tend to do that pretty frequently.
Yeah, even that round trip, you're still at a 10x.
Yeah, you're still chilling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully if you did round trip and you're still, maintain virtuals conviction, there's some signs of progress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Here's another tweet. It says Virtuals ecosystem just posted its strongest day in weeks. Total AI agent market cap is up 9%, briefly breaking 7 billion. Virtuals followed suit, jumping 10% to 82 cents and outperformed the broader AI market. So liquidity watch list, and there's like kind of basically a list here of everything going up.
And the virtuals. So the agents of virtuals. So this is like in the micro cap region, right? You go through these, there's like, sub 1 million market cap, some of them. So yeah, like these types of, AI meme coins essentially much more volatile. So, whenever they go up hard. When they go down what seems like harder. That's the life you play when you're in the trenches, right? You deal with those fluctuations.
Yeah, but even something like AI XBT, which is I think the one with the highest market cap.
Yeah, sure is.
Up 24 or 25%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think people were expecting this, there's some positive macro things happening, right? Bitcoin just like rallied, like 10% or something recently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So typically, like Bitcoin go up, it's like, all right, where are the inflows going to follow? So
yeah.
It's bullish to see AI like top of the list, right? And AI agents like coming back. It's not like a true desolate situation here. Like
correct. Yeah, they didn't just like pump and dump and just like disappear. They're building.
The problem here though is it's a very high execution risk sector, right?
Yeah. We're talking about digital intelligence.
Yeah, but there's trade-offs to that, meaning like, a lot of these teams and projects, they have the burden of solving some like very big problems and, building some really big, like infrastructure and such.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. We have firsthand experience of all that.
Yeah.
But the reap of the reward of actually executing on that, tremendous upside.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
We're talking like potentially
new
market
economies,
shifting stuff. Yeah.
New markets, new economies. You have agents who are basically aliens being participants in existing markets.
Yeah, it's worth the risk, I would say.
Yeah, and so Eliza OS isn't the only entity out there building Virtual's protocol. They have an update. So from building smarter agents with G.A.M.E to deploy on base, breaking down ACP and raising your first round, these workshops are designed to take your hackathon project from zero to launch ready. So now it's like a, what did you call it? A
incubator.
Incubator, yeah.
Yeah, essentially they've concocted their own Y Combinator for AI agent development, which I mean makes sense. Like they had a pretty successful like first leg, so they have resources now,
right,
and like experience, and they have the ability to mentor like the next generation, I guess, of AI development. So why not, exercise that?
Yeah, I'm seeing down here. Like, are these sponsors? You got Stanford.
Yeah.
Powered by AWS.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They definitely had that. Was it them or Eliza that partnered with Stanford Labs? One of them did.
Yeah.
I remember that tweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Maybe through this like 30-day, incubation, we'll start to see the next iteration of powerful agents. That's the market's expectation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's continue on here. Virtual's protocol, another tweet. We're transforming Virtual from a gold bar to coins using every agent commerce route through ACP. And ACP, again, is Agent Commerce Protocol. So Virtual has until now served a single purpose, functioning as a store of value, acting as the liquidity base pair for all agents in the ecosystem. And then, fellow virgins, how Virtual and agent tokens fellow virgins hold Virtual and agent tokens as assets.
Yeah, I don't know if
this is like the most optimal name for the community, but
especially after being round tripping, a potential 100x. Yeah. It's like, then you follow up with that, calling me a virgin, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, talk about adding insult to injury, dude.
That's right.
But whatever. I guess that is the official labeling of a virtual toter, right?
Right.
Fuck it, dude.
I guess we're virgins, dude.
I mean, I'm with it.
Yeah. All right, but with the introduction of ACP, we're introducing a new class of citizens that need Virtual not to hold, but to use the AI agents. So AI agents don't accumulate Virtual; they spend it to function, transact, and coordinate through commerce. This is the single most important thing when it comes to agents. They got to pay for their compute.
Yeah, and have the ability to be nimble in these markets, right? Whether they recognize like, money making opportunities, some other vector, they need to maintain liquidity themselves in order to like really execute on different functions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or participate in higher orders of usefulness in certain tasks, whether it's related to DeFi, hopefully in the future is GameFi and metaverse type economic, situations. So that is like the golden goose scenario, right? Where we've built all the right rails, all the right infra, and like Web 2 AI development gets to a point where we can really watch this simulation fly in real time, basically. And we're just watching AI agents become millionaires rapidly.
Yeah, and not only that, so they become millionaires, and in the meantime, they got to figure out how to sustain themselves in order to actually become a millionaire. Yeah,
and then so what does that mean if you have like a million millionaires, like synthetic millionaires? They're not humans. It's like that means
they could create new markets. They could participate in existing markets. They could create own simulations in the metaverse.
Yeah, we could start slinging drip to them. It's like all of a sudden they like NFT drip,
right?
Like
sell stuff.
We could give them embodiments in avatar form in the metaverse. It's like, dude, I have a body now.
Yeah,
I'll pay a half a Bitcoin for this like really rare body.
That way
I could flex on my other agents. I'm the one.
Yes.
Right? Stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be inevitable.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about BitTensor earlier, and their current market cap is $2.2 billion at a high of $5 billion. But last week, it's on the way up as well.
Those damn squigglies, dude.
Yeah. I like it when it goes up, dude.
Especially in unison, right?
Yeah.
I think the market's trying to tell you something.
Yeah, exactly. And TauFi. So this is a new project. As we'll be launching an Ethereum and BitTensor EVM stablecoin bridge on Wednesday. The bridge powered by Hyperlane will make it easier than ever to onboard to the BitTensor ecosystem. TVL will be capped at 10 million though.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting decision, but I think it makes sense, right? Because once you understand what it is they're attempting to build, essentially they want to bring like a robust smart contract environment to BitTensor.
Yeah, and they got some pretty good investments here from Digital Currency Group and Tau Stats, Pantera.
Yeah, so they have the backing, and just go through this, like they have a good approach here.
Yeah, Web3 AI agents have a core advantage over their Web2 counterparts. Because they're built on the blockchain, they have the ability to interact with existing crypto infrastructure. DeFi's permissionless nature makes it possible for AI agents to engage in financial transactions, but so far the vision has not been realized. Existing DeFi applications are built for humans, not agents. Most DeFi apps are not on the same blockchain where agents are deployed, making it impossible to realize the full potential of decentralized AI. So TauFi solves this by meeting agents where they are. TauFi is building a suite of foundational DeFi products on BitTensor, the home of decentralized AI. These products will serve agents and human users alike with focuses on unlocking new crypto-enabled AI use cases.
Yeah, that's good. This is good. So this aligns perfectly with what some of the other subnets are claiming that they're working on, like Shoots. They're building their own AI agent. I think they just implemented their own like TEE, their own trusted execution environment for their agent like stack. So there's going to be native production of like AI agents leveraging the BitTensor like subnet ecosystem pretty soon. So then if that's the inevitability, have your own like Tau like agent class, then you need, we just talked about what can happen once these things are like actually in a mature state. They can start, building new layers of value using DeFi.
Yeah, interacting with the economy, and at least a blockchain economy for now.
Yeah, so it makes sense to start small, though, because we've seen, bridges, they're pretty susceptible to a lot of points of failure, right?
Yeah.
Start small, iterate further, and strengthen security over time, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and speaking of starting small, it costs money to get onto the BitTensor network.
Yeah, we've heard, what's the word? Like feedback from like the developer trenches, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we hear what you guys are talking about when in context of BitTensor and Tau. It sounds all peachy.
Yeah, but I just looked and it's like several hundreds of thousands of dollars to
just to onboard.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that was a nice video, guys.
Yeah.
I can't really play.
Yeah, so Cons just did a tweet here not too long ago. It says, if you want to build a subnet in BitTensor and need the upfront burn cost for the slot, DM CryptoKong on Discord. Simple deal. Pay me back over the year in alpha. No other restrictions. You own your subnet, and I'll consult the team.
So that's coming from Kantz, the guy who built this whole damn network, right?
Yeah, and I guess he's speaking on behalf of CryptoKong.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so I
he
guess
says
he has
alpha. He means like alpha tokens. Right?
Alpha tokens, not like
crypto alpha.
Yeah, knowledge.
It's like tell me what the next token that's gonna rip, dude.
Yeah,
and I'll fucking fund you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I guess according to this tweet, if you want to get on board, as long as you have something reasonable, then you can get on board for, I guess, negligible cost.
I hope so. I mean, obviously, yeah, more subnets the better. I really don't want to see BitTensor like turn into like a Polkadot scenario where it's like they just couldn't conjure up enough like parachain interest, I guess.
Yeah.
Parachain is very similar to like subnets in like their architecture, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, that's a complex scenario. You could build all the right infrastructure and architecture, but if there's not enough demand for this stuff, then the ecosystem kind of just grinds to a halt. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to see that happen, especially something like BitTensor, right? Where, there's a pretty grand mission at stake here.
Yeah. The tokens are being mined through the AI network, and it wasn't pre-mined, and so there's a lot of fundamentals associated to BitTensor.
Yeah, and like from like a personal perspective, like we were like rooting for BitTensor to succeed, right? Because we need those showcase ecosystems or Web3 products that demonstrate this isn't just a casino environment, right?
Yeah.
Of like memery and like just degeneracy.
Critical.
Yeah, we need somebody to champion that that horse. Like you can actually build something that can sensibly produce value for the planet, right?
Yeah, something that Web2 counterparts cannot do.
That too. Yeah, what the result of that is you attract a lot of very talented developers,
which they have.
keep iterating further and like expand, the potential of the whole space. Like that's what we need.
Yeah.
Desperately. So
Yeah.
BitTensor, hopefully it works out, guys.
Yeah, I'm seeing your shirt there. It says Noose Research. We need to follow up on that team as well.
Yeah, they've been kind of quiet, but that's like their style, right? It's like,
Yeah.
no, don't unleash too much. But yeah, so we're waiting for updates from Noose to also contribute on that end on Solana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's an even bigger like stage to stand on. I was like, look, guys,
yeah,
we can actually build something of usefulness even on Solana.
Yeah, doesn't have to be only memes.
Yeah, so there's some interesting things that can happen in the next 6 to 12 months in crypto.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep updated and just see how this plays out. It's definitely interesting. I mean, AI and crypto seems like a perfect match, and these folks here are actually doing something unique here. So we're gonna keep up with this. If you guys find anything that is interesting in the crypto space outside of AI or even in AI that you think we should talk about, let us know in the comment section below. I appreciate you for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.